Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? It's Jay here, and today I wanted to make a video and kind of make it the first one in a series of videos that I'll be making over the next couple of months, maybe even more than that. Some things have occurred in my life that have changed things considerably, and I've decided to make a series of videos that's going to document kind of what I'm going through, what's going on, and kind of help other people to process some of the things that I've been processing over the past few weeks. So, just to rewind and tell you guys how it all started. A couple weeks ago, I made a video about my health issues that I was having. I was having some stomach problems, and after some time, the doctors kind of chalked it up to being a gallbladder attack. And the gallbladder was checked out. And I do have one gallstone, but at this point, it's kind of medical knowledge or wisdom that we're going to deal with that down the road, because in all the other testing that we had done for the gallbladder, something else was found. Basically, I got an ultrasound on my abdomen for the gallbladder, and originally for the gallbladder. And in the interest of completeness, they did the entire abdomen. And something was found on my left kidney. As they call it in medical terms, a shadow initially, which is always funny because obviously they know the difference between a shadow and something solid. And they knew that this was something solid because of the way everybody was reacting about it. We have to get an MRI right now. We need to get moving on it immediately. I knew it was something serious. But, you know, the first week or so before the MRI happened, you could hope. And I did hope, I certainly did. But we had the MRI 2 Tuesdays ago, 2 weeks from today, before. And Thursday I received the results. And on the results of the MRI, the technicians or doctors whoever look at it and then write the report, basically said most likely cystic renal cell carcinoma. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's cancer. Obviously, there are many different forms of cancer. Some of them are more treatable than others. Luckily for me, this falls into the very treatable, especially when caught early, which it was. It's less than 4 centimeters, and it is obviously very early on in the ball game as far as catching it. And it was an incidental, as they call it, an incidental diagnosis, which is something that happens when they're looking for something else. And, you know, so in a lot of ways, having a gallbladder attack probably saved my life. That being said, there is nothing that can prepare you or make easier the knowledge that you have cancer of any kind. I mean, it's just not, it's not something that you're built to process. You're built to look at other people and say, wow, you know, that's terrible, and we're here for you, and anything that you can do or anything that we can do, you know, just let us know. It's very odd being on the receiving end of that at this point. But you know, that being said, as I said, there's a lot of positives that come out of it. As many positives as can come out of a cancer diagnosis. So, you know, we're kind of hanging our hat on the positives. October 21st is when I am scheduled to get it removed. So I spoke to the doctor yesterday, the surgeon who's actually going to be handling my surgery. His name is Dr. Costas Lalas. He's works out of the Jefferson University Hospital in Center City, Philadelphia. He's actually he's in charge of robotic surgery and laparoscopic. Well, maybe not laparoscopic, but he is kind of the go-to guy when it comes to robotic and least invasive surgery. So I'm happy about that. He seems to know his stuff. Seems like a really good guy, very blunt, but I like that. I don't want a doctor who's gonna, kind of be all loosey goosey and stuff. He tells it like it is. We asked him. I know my mom asked me, My mom asked him, "Is this something that you biopsy?" And he said, generally at his age, it doesn't make a difference. We're going to take it out anyway, which is the truth. I mean, whether it's just a simple cyst or it's a benign tumor or whatever it is, it's going to come out. I'm 35. It's not like I'm 65 and oh well, you might have a cyst, but we can manage it. We'll watch it. Because when you're 65, who the hell wants to go through surgery like that? But when you're 35, it's a little bit different. So that's kind of the thinking there. I'm just trying to think of some of the other things that happened. The main thing right now that struck me about the entire conversation was the recovery time is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I guess I was kind of wrapping my brain around the gallbladder surgery, which is a lot less invasive than this is. But basically, after the surgery, I'm going to be in the hospital for 2 or 3 days as I heal, I guess. Which I've never been in a hospital for more than a few hours. So I'm in the hospital for a couple of days. And then after that, he said, because of my job, which is I work in the restaurant business, and for those of you who work in restaurants, there's not really a such thing as light duty. Even as a manager, I mean, I could probably get away with going in for a couple hours and doing paperwork and stuff, but you can't work on the floor. It's just, everything. You're moving around and everything. So he said at least 3 or 4 weeks that I would be out, which is just huge. But again, I'm probably focused on the wrong things, but as my wife told me, it's good that I'm focused on that, and I'm not so worried about the fact that I have cancer, because obviously the fact that you have cancer can just weigh down on you and can crush you, and it can basically turn everything into negative, and I don't want to let that happen. So anyway, this series of videos that I want to do is just to document how I'm feeling at times. This is obviously a long one because I'm trying to give you guys the backstory and everything and how it all works. But now that you guys know it, I'll dispense with a lot of the stuff with the backstory and everything, and we'll just go on. But the reason why I'm doing these videos is because what I did the first few days after I was given the diagnosis, I went on the internet. I went on the internet and I started searching for things, and I started looking up this particular kind of cancer, and it actually put my mind at ease because of the time that we caught it, the type of cancer tumor that it does look like. Basically, my prognosis is very, very good. 97% is what the doctor said. They don't throw those percentages around lightly either. As I said, this guy is a straight shooter. He's not going to bullshit me. And, he basically threw the 97% number out, which you can't get much better than that, guys. So we're managing our emotions. We're managing our life, and I am trying to return to as much normalcy as I can for right now, because I know that in a month I'll be in probably a lot of pain, and and we'll document that as well. We'll document how the painkillers make me feel. If I remember to pick up my phone and make a video, I don't want to leave anything to chance, because for me, what helped was the information. The information of what other people are going through, the information of just what it is that I'm dealing with and what it is that I'm about to battle. The information helped me, and I feel like if I could put out a little bit of information from a real perspective, like somebody who's actually going through it, then that's what I'm going to do. And I think that if I can help one person, then I've done my job. And That's kind of how I feel. So I do appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully, as I said, it does touch a few people, and we can all go through this together. And if you are one of my brothers or sisters that are going through this, just know that the minute you give up is the minute that it's really over, and don't give up. Just keep fighting. Just keep fighting until the end, because you never know. So thanks for watching, and we'll keep you posted. Have a good one.